Sunshine Academy, how-to on how I do face makeup part 2. How I contour and naturally highlight and some blush. So yeah, if you want to see this how-to on how I do, stick around, subscribe to the channel, and let's get into the how-to. If you saw my face makeup how-to, foundation, concealer, and setting, then this is where I left off at this point. So this here is my favorite contour powder from Anastasia Beverly Hills in Fawn. And then I've really been enjoying this Lashylicious C101 contour brush. Take that into the powder, go on the forehead in very light motions. If you didn't set your face in any area and you're dragging the brush like this, it can cause these weird like dry desert looking moments in very tiny areas of your makeup, if that makes any sense. Make sure that we are doing very light feathery sort of motions. I do like to put it on my forehead. If you have a small forehead, it's very unnecessary. If you have a medium to large forehead, you can add some contour, bronzer, you can do that as well. Now you can contour where your cheeks sink in or when you go like that, you can do that. But if you want like a illusion, bring it up a little higher. So instead of my contour being here at my ear, I kind of bring it up here. So I'll start pressing it a little. After I've pressed it in this area, I'm keeping on this outer half, I guess you could say. Start to move it up into the skin. See where I'm pressing it? Not where I would naturally, you know, press it, but I'm pressing it a little bit higher. You don't have to do this if you feel like that's just ridiculous. I think pressing helps to avoid that weird crackling happening. After I press, I feel like I can start to move the brush in feathery motions upward. If I am bringing the contour down, I don't like to bring it down to here. I like to bring it maybe halfway. And if I am bringing it down at all, like more than that, I'll bring it up onto my cheek so that it's like lifting. We want a lift happening. We want the contour and the shading to be higher, our cheekbone to be higher. At least that's what I want. You don't have to want that. That's okay. I also like to make sure I contour under my chin, and I'll bring it up here just to define that jawline. You can add more contour powder or less contour powder. It's up to you. If you like it and you prefer to be like snatched, snatch yourself. If you don't and you're like, I really want it to look more natural, do the very light feathery motions. Don't press so much like I was talking about. Just do light feathery motion and you'll get a much more natural sort of contour. All noses are different, right? We all have different noses. So for my nose contour, I see that I have like this bulbous sort of like roundy round part of my nose at the end. And it also kind of dips down here. If you want to shorten the length of your nose, you add it to the bottom. I like to press Fawn. I take this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills A7 brush. I start from the bottom and then I kind of bring it up. Then I take more Fawn. If you can tap it up, if you have round parts on your nose, you really want to focus on the contour being there, focusing on that area, and that will bring in that rounded part of your nose in. If you don't have that and your nose is more straight, you can just go all the way straight down your nose on the sides. And I like to use powder and a brush like this because I feel like it blends better and I'm not doing something too intense. So you can just move it back and forth like this and play around with your nose. Look at your nose, see how your nose is. Then to enhance that, we're gonna use more powder. So I have the Maybelline Fit Me powder here and a Real Technique sponge. See, I have the powder there on the side, but I'll take that makeup on the side or the powder on the side and then bring it down on the sides of the nose. Now, where you place this shows like where the contour kind of ends. So if you want it to be smaller, you can bring it up further. Do you see how that like it shortens the nose? So instead of using concealers and stuff and then baking and doing powder, I use just powder. And then I take my handy dandy Real Technique setting brush. Then I start to press with my finger like that, but very lightly, and try to remove some of the powder and bring it forward onto the nose. And then I will start to press it very hard, rounding toward my nose. Cool, and then you can highlight it if you feel like it, but it's not necessary. If you want your contour to stick out a little bit more, you can use powder. You don't have to do this step. Like any of these steps you can take and you can not take. You don't have to do all of these different things. Just like I did before for my nose. And I take it here under my cheek, there, to kind of cut that area. And I really, really want to just focus there. and I let it be there for a moment. If you let it be there too long, it will leave a weird look to your face. This here is the Laura Mercier. This is a finishing brush. I like that it's so wide. It's like a duo fiber brush, but it's just so wide and it's so light. I like it for so many things. Move in circular motions upward. Wipe away that powder. I like that this brush is light, so I can get a little bit rough. I'm gonna do like a all over kind of face highlight. So what I'm gonna use is the Laura Mercier. This is the Translucent Loose Setting Powder in Glow. It's the Laura Mercier Glow Powder Brush. Bring it on that cheek. Start here with the middle part, and I bring it up like that. Bring it here on the chin as well. Here on the, you know, on the forehead. This is a perfect brush to get in there and get a really pretty glow on your forehead. I'll take a tiny brush, like just a pencil brush, it doesn't matter what pencil brush. Put that on the higher tip of my nose. I'll put it on the edges of my nose. I also want to add some of this highlight to my brow bone, put it in the inner corners, and then I want to add blush. So I really have been loving blush, but I've been wanting to have like a more natural blush sometimes instead of a more intense blush. This brush again, this is the finishing brush from Laura Mercier. This is my favorite blush, this is Jouer. It's the Rose Gold Blush Duo, and I like the Rose Petal blush. I believe it's that one right there. Tap it off. And I kind of smile and I bring it up. And it's so pretty. I can put it on my chin, I can put it on my nose. It's just so pretty, the blush. So after I have finished my face makeup, let's set our face. Since I did use a lot of powder, I love to make sure to set my face. Here I have two things. Something that's very paper-like but hard, like it's plasticky. So this is the all-nighter. I'm gonna just relax and I'm gonna spray. I like to use a lot of spray and then I fan. And then, now if you are oily, I would not put this like on your nose. I would not put this on your eyeshadow if you do have eyeshadow. But if you want to get a little bit more glow and look more skin-like, this is definitely not an all-day sort of thing, but the Tatcha Luminous Dewy Skin Mist, oh my gosh. Over my nose, right here on my cheek. So to get a little extra glow, that's what I sprayed, but that part was not necessary. Well, I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat Reshape and Resize Lip Liner in Pillow Talk and like a clear gloss. That's what I'm going to do. So that's how I do my face makeup. I'm gonna fix my eyebrows and curl my lash over here and put the lips on, and that's the face of Nessa Sunshine. How to and how I do like a lighter version of face makeup with lots of powder, of course. And again, you can use any of the steps, feel free to take some, leave some out, whatever suits you. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed Sunshine Academy on my face makeup part 2. And if you like highlighter, let me know what is your favorite highlighter. And if you don't, let me know that too, because that's interesting if you don't like highlighter. See you guys next time. Bye! Bye now!